Hey everyone! Today, I want to tell you about a designer who literally changed the way we think about, well, everything. Cars, cameras, even teapots. His name was Luigi Colani, and honestly, the guy was kind of insane. In the best way possible. Imagine this. You're 3 years old, standing in 1930s Berlin, and you see a Mercedes Roadster drive by. Most kids would forget about it in 5 minutes. But little Lutz Colani, that was his real name, he stood there for an entire hour, just staring at the curves of the trunk. An hour. At 3 years old. That obsession? It defined his entire life. But here's what makes Colani's story so fascinating. He didn't just design pretty things. He had this radical philosophy. Nature has already figured it out. We just need to pay attention. So let's dive in. So, what does biodynamic design actually mean? Picture every product you use daily. Your phone, your car, your coffee maker. Most of them have sharp corners, flat surfaces, straight lines. That's fine, but Colani asked, is that actually the best design? He believed the answer was no. He looked at how nature solves problems. A fish doesn't have corners. It's smooth, streamlined, built to move efficiently through water with minimum resistance. A bird's body is a perfect aerodynamic form. Even a raindrop has that teardrop shape for a reason. Colani took those principles and applied them to everything. His designs look like they're melting, flowing, alive. Everything curves into everything else. It's like his products are frozen mid-motion. But here's the key. This wasn't just about aesthetics. Colani insisted that these organic forms were ergonomically superior. They fit the human hand better. They moved through air more efficiently. They just worked better. He described himself as a 3D philosopher. Not just a designer, a philosopher who thinks in 3 dimensions. That's a pretty cool business card, right? Alright, let's talk about the work that made him famous. In 1978, Colani designed something revolutionary. The Canon T90 camera. Now, you might think it's just a camera, but listen to this story. Back then, cameras were basically rectangular boxes. Function over form. Colani walked into Canon and said, "This is wrong. A camera isn't just an object, it's a thing between the human hand and the human eye." Canon thought he was crazy. It took him 2 years of arguing, convincing, insisting before they finally said okay. The result? The T90 was the first camera explicitly built around the shape of your hand and face. It had these flowing curves that wrapped around your palm. The angles matched how your eye naturally meets the viewfinder. Even decades later, photographers call it one of the most comfortable cameras ever made. But cameras were just the beginning. The man designed everything. His drop tea set from 1971, the teapot, cups, sugar bowl, everything shaped like falling raindrops. It's in museum collections now, including the British Museum. Sports cars that looked like they were sculpted from water. He worked with Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes, Lamborghini, basically everyone. He even designed trucks. And not just any trucks, streamlined, futuristic trucks that looked like they belonged in a sci-fi movie. Mercedes hired him because he was obsessed with reducing drag, increasing fuel efficiency. This was the 1970s and 80s, way before anyone really cared about fuel economy. And here's something wild. Colani designed aircraft turbine blades. Those advanced fan blade designs he created, they're still used in the majority of passenger jets today. When you fly, there's a good chance you're trusting your life to Luigi Colani's understanding of aerodynamics. Let that sink in. Now, Colani didn't just do practical stuff. Oh no. This man created some absolutely bonkers concept vehicles. The Lamborghini Miura Le Mans, basically a streamlined pod that looked like a spacecraft mated with a race car. He modified a Mercedes Unimog into this massive amphibious vehicle called the Sea Ranger. It looked like a pontoon with wheels. In the 1980s, he got obsessed with land speed records. He designed 13 different record-breaking cars for the Bonneville Salt Flats. He took a Ferrari Testarossa and rebodied it into these bizarre, ultra-low shapes that could hit nearly 200 miles per hour. He designed a motorcycle that broke records. A Citroën concept that could supposedly get 138 miles per gallon. But my favorite? The rotor house. In 2006, he designed this rotating house. Picture this. It's a small home with a cylindrical core that has 3 rooms, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. You use a remote control to rotate the cylinder so whichever room you need faces the living area. It's like living in a lazy Susan. Only Colani would think of that. Over his lifetime, he estimated he created 4,000 to 5,000 designs. 4,000! From microcars to grand pianos to eyeglasses to computer mice to police uniforms. Yes, he redesigned Hamburg's police uniforms in 2003. The man never stopped. So here's why Colani matters today. When he was doing this work in the 60s, 70s, 80s, people thought he was too radical, too weird, too impractical. His designs were called futuristic fantasies. But look around now. Architects like Zaha Hadid built entire buildings with flowing, organic curves. Modern product designers embrace biomorphic forms. Even your smartphone has those rounded edges instead of sharp corners. Colani was ahead of his time. Way ahead. He was also talking about sustainability and biomimicry decades before they became buzzwords. His BioCity concept for Shanghai in 1996, self-sustaining urban districts with green technology and organic architecture. His Human City model that blended living spaces with energy-efficient design. This was the 1990s, before climate change was mainstream, before eco-design was a thing. Architectural Digest called him the most influential designer of the 20th century and the Leonardo of plastics. That's not hyperbole when you see how much modern design owes to his vision. From 2004 to 2007, his life's work was exhibited in Karlsruhe. In 2007, the London Design Museum held a retrospective called Translating Nature. When Munich's Pinakothek der Moderne opened in 2002, they featured his work prominently. The design world recognized what he'd been saying all along. Nature is the ultimate designer. We just need to learn its language. Luigi Colani died in September 2019 at age 91. But his influence? It's everywhere. Every time you pick up a curved phone. Every time you sit in an ergonomic chair. Every time you see a car with flowing lines instead of boxy angles. That's Colani's legacy. He showed us that design doesn't have to choose between beautiful and functional. That the best solutions are often hiding in plain sight, in the curve of a shell or the wing of a bird. He was a rule breaker, a provocateur, a 3D philosopher who refused to accept that things had to look a certain way just because they always had. So next time you see something designed with organic, flowing curves, remember the 3-year-old kid who stood staring at a car trunk for an hour. The man who believed that everything could be better if we just paid attention to nature. That's Luigi Colani's gift to us. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe for more design deep dives. Drop a comment and let me know, what's your favorite Colani design? Or do you think he was too out there? I'll see you in the next one.